I have a tool that will allow me to check the status of the distant compartments that are out of Vox contact, but we have to wait for Mort's results first.
Keep your wits about you.
Hey, what was the direction of Mort? I'm just gonna keep running around until I find him, I guess. Oh, damn. Well, not my responsibility. Good luck, boys. Hey, guys! Conrad Voigtver lets out a sigh upon seeing you. Thank Providence you are alive and well. Always on time, eh, Conrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You can set your chrono by it. Hey, that's mean. He fought with me earlier, alongside me at least. Conrad pointedly looks away from the arch-militant to you. Mort, pull yourself together. The arch-militant looks back at you. What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away. Mort pulls his Vox from the belt and hurriedly reports on the situation. Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The VoxNet is silent. The Vox Master is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report. I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any GaLm field failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only Voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny. Mutiny? But who would attempt a mutiny here, in the warp? Lunatics, fools, heretics. This ship houses thousands upon thousands of people. Pernicious thoughts and warp-induced delusions could have tainted any one of them. It is a difficult notion to accept, but such risks are inescapable. First, we need to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure, and I have the means to do both things at once. Her expression changes as her eyes flash ominously. Ethelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unarmed. A psycho aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons. I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18. Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Ethelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas, and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-militant with me. I must go to my study, and it appears that we might encounter heretics along the way. Jade, Theodora glances at you thoughtfully. If I may, Lord Captain. Voigtver's voice is soft and cautious. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Ethelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I am not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the house as the esteemed arch-militant, and taking into consideration Ethelthrad's psyker powers. Yeah, I guess I can go along with you. Then it's settled. Jade, find Ethelthrad and bring him here, in whatever state you find him in. This elevator, she points at the massive doors, leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers in the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand? I shall do everything in my power. Theodora hisses in fury. Not everything in your power. You will do as I say. I'll have your heads if you fail. Is that clear? Then move out. Mort, come. Hey, you told me to be, like, a little bit rebellious earlier. Not in those exact words, but you were like, yeah, you shouldn't be all super obedient. So now I'm just gonna be half obedient. Figure yourself out, Lord Captain. You want me to be super obedient, and you can't tell me otherwise. Voigtver gives you a nod. Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear. I'll make do. Lead the way. Of course you will. He rummages in his pocket for something. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs. But that is no longer relevant. With a pop and a sharp crackle, something hits you in the abdomen. You are consumed by an unbearable, gut-wrenching pain. Ow! Whoa! I promised you a special destiny, Jade. It is time to fulfill it. What the hell? He betrayed us! That was fast! If a character falls unconscious, they receive a trauma. This reduces their characteristics or inflicts an additional negative effect. Are you telling me that coincidentally? Or are you saying I'm gonna get a negative effect from getting knocked out by Conrad? Ugh.
Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. She has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warren Chamber, and for that, I need her breathing. Oh, you are back with us, I see. Delightful.
Void Ver, you two-faced scum! You're the one behind this mayhem!
How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself.
You bastard!
We are in the anteroom of the Warren Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
Huh. What is it, inbred? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel?
On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Fon Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for?
Ooh, coercion succeeded. What sorry pathetic excuse do you even have for your apostasy, you sordid, wretched piece of grok shit?
Wretched? What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind.
Well, okay, that doesn't sound good. I could have been willing to, like, hear you out a little bit more, but once you're like, oh no, all humans can die, you've lost me.
Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench Fon Valencius watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
What if I pull out my gun and say no? Uh-oh, skill tests in dialogues. One of the available dialogue options requires making a skill test. Unlike with passive tests, which are made automatically, in this case you can decide whether or not to select an option, the consequences of which will depend on the result of the associated test. Ah, shit. Success or failure affects how the dialogue will develop. Depending on the context, you might change the course of the conversation, alter the character's attitude, or perform an action whose consequences will only become apparent later. Hover your cursor over the dialogue option that requires a skill test, and you will see a tooltip detailing your chances of success. Well, I'm assuming it's this, but maybe not. The number after the skill's name indicates the difficulty of the test. Once your character starts traveling with allies, the party member with the highest score in the applicable skill will be... well... The blade flashes in the dim light and drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment you feel nauseous, your head is spinning, and then quiet, Whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each other, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a singular urge. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. No, I will fight the voice in my head. Get out! I'm not your puppet! The voices in your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence forcing you onto your feet and making you take a step toward the gates looming in the center of the chamber. No! It didn't work. I don't have resistance to this sort of trickery. Damn you, Conrad! Damn you! In the gateway arch, you see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. Jesus. The sentinel turns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises. I will look at the device. Tech use test succeeded. You carefully inspect the design of the cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is the strange alloy that was used as material for the machine's components, some of which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect this might be some kind of archaeotech relic, an incredibly rare and powerful piece of technology of humanity's ancient past. Neat. The servitor on the gate begins to move. With the screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward, closer to you. Its lower jaws open with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen on the right lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices that filled your head after Voitvur wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, their source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. Yeah. Examine the sentinel. The servitor looked noticeably different from the ones you were used to. Its skin covering is stitched together with copper thread, and it has metal hinges in place of the standard joints. It seems that the creators of the sentinel did everything to ensure that the service life of this unit would be much longer than that of ordinary automatons. Look for anything that can be used as a weapon. You look around in hopes of finding at least something that could work as a weapon. Your search is in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty and in perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel or protruding piece of rebar in sight. Look back.
Did you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
Ugh. Then I only have one choice. Place my hand into the sentinel's maw. The sentinel's jaws clamps around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the server motors start up and the pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass. The sentinel's jaws remain closed, and you're beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath. Maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened.
High levels of caustic humors. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
Whoa. You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the sentinel, the cogitator? Is it a figment of your weary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Yes! Yes, I do require assistance. Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
Yeah! Looks like you can't get that warrant all too quickly. Holy shit! Oh my fucking god!
There is still another way.
I wasn't expecting a fucking flamethrower to get pulled out there, but alright. The enormous gates match the importance of the thing they protect. The massive doors are made of heavy metal and look impregnable.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Sentinel! Are you in here? Whoa. Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the... to be the paragon of humanity unbroken by adversity, to walk with... Fuck it! Alright! You've got me!
Escort the child of the house to safety.
What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel standing by.
Are you the Warren Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
Cool. I need a weapon. I'm utterly defenseless.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
Okay. Hey, what about Theodora?
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
Okay, in place of the mechanical screeching, the servo skull's Vox projects the voice of Theodora von Valancius, distorted and ridden with static, yet recognizable beyond a doubt. Vox, Master! Restore communication with the Navigator's Sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
That's fine, just get me out of here, I guess.
Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
Yeah, we can keep this place all safe, I suppose. As the game story unfolds, you will see notifications at the top of the screen indicating that the status of your current objective has been updated and that new information has been added to your journal. You can open the journal by pressing J or clicking left mouse button on the notification at the top of the screen. Journal entries help you keep track of current events and guide your character on their journey. The quest tab tracks progress of the main story. Here you can find information about any quests you have accepted and their current status. Use the journal to help yourself understand where to go on the next steps of your adventure. The rumors and contract sections also contain important information. You will learn more about them later. Cool. No one must reach the warrant. A simple order to the Sentinel Cogitator will lock the chamber.
I always have a backup plan.
So that should be like over here, right? Old injury, an injury that wasn't healed in time. It can be healed with a medkit, but it requires passing a Medicaid skill test to succeed.
I always keep my options open.
Too many injuries reduce the character's resolve and cause traumas. That does sound bad. Alright, hey, close the door.
Mistress? What? Whatever are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me. What is the meaning of this?
Look how much fucking text is here. I wish they had... I got spoiled by Baldur's Gate 3. The narrator for that, I just wish that was like a standard. Industry standard. If you're gonna have this sheer fucking volume of text, read all of it for me. Out loud. I'll be more, like, involved, and my vocal cord won't be as damaged by the end of the game, which is also a plus. Oy. Alright, Abel Laud Werzian has lost some of his former polish. His forehead is sweating, and one of the sleeves of his coat is torn and soaked through with blood. Nonetheless, despite his heavy breathing, he stands firm and his gaze is demanding, albeit somewhat surprised. He surveys the carnage around him, his brow furrows, and he places a hand on his weapon. Yeah, look. Conrad Voidver is a traitor. When we parted ways on the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here.
What?
He intended to take revenge on Theodora for something, and trying to reach the warrant was somehow part of the plan.
Oh, holy God, Emperor. I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And, Mistress, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora.
Look, Voidfur openly admitted that he is the mastermind behind the mutiny.
Saints' blood! And it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive and now safe, mistress. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And, for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
Neat! He gave me a sniper rifle, armored body glove, and a medikit. While fighting, your characters can lose some of their wounds. Your character has suffered an injury after being attacked by Conrad. This happens when a character receives damage that exceeds 50% of their maximum wounds within one round. The exact percentage of wounds a character must lose for this to happen may vary depending on the difficulty of the game you choose. Injuries reduce the character's resolve. When a character initially suffers an injury, it is considered a fresh injury during the first 3 rounds. Once 3 rounds have passed, a fresh injury becomes an old injury. A fresh injury can be healed using a medikit without passing any skill tests. Old injuries can be healed with a medikit, but they require the character administering the treatment to pass a Medicaid skill test to succeed. Use medikits to restore wounds and heal injuries. Note that when a character loses all their wounds, they fall unconscious. This is a lot. Alright, once the combat is over, the wounds of all party members are replenished automatically, but any injuries they have sustained remain. Those can be healed with a medikit. Medikits can only be used by characters who have filled medic feature, base skill Medicaid, or have taken Medicaid skill advancement at least once. When a character uses a medikit in battle, a Medicaid skill test determines the number of wounds that will be restored as a result. Abelard can heal your character's injury. Click on Abelard's portrait, select the medikit on the panel at the bottom left of the screen, then use it on your character. Abelard needs to be standing right next to your character for him to administer this treatment. Right, and what the fuck is Resolve? Resolve influences how efficiently and for how long characters can fight in a battle. It determines the amount of momentum gained at the beginning of each turn or after killing an enemy. And what the fuck is momentum? With momentum, your party members can use unique abilities called Heroic Acts and Desperate Measures. In battle, the level of momentum changes depending on the actions of characters. If the momentum gauge reaches 175 or more, any party member can use a Heroic Act. If momentum drops below 25, your party member will gain the ability to use Desperate Measures, which has a number of negative effects. At the beginning of each turn, the momentum of the party starts at 100. The maximum momentum of the party is 200. The minimum is 0. Neat. Alright, let's close all this. We got a new item. I can open my inventory pressing I. On the inventory screen, weapons, armor, and other items can be equipped or interacted with in ways. Medikits can be used to replenish wounds and heal injuries. So, press I, click on him, let him use the medkit. Or not. Okay, hold up. This is what I'm supposed to do. Okay. I can equip these items.
I'm at your service.
And then, here we go. Oh, wait, shit. To equip new weapons or armor, open your inventory and double-click on the item. Alternatively, you can hold left mouse bump that button and drag the item to the right slot. It will become highlighted once you start dragging the item. To view the parameters of an item, hover your cursor over its icon and wait for the information window to appear. Another way to view details about an item is to right-click on its icon and select Info. You can switch between party members using the arrows at the top of the inventory screen or clicking left mouse button on a character's portrait. Item descriptions contain comparisons with any corresponding items already equipped on a character. Okay, look, just heal.
Let me help. That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead. The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control.
What exactly?
We must reach the Navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation.
What
If
exactly?
we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
Sorry. What exactly has gone wrong with the translation?
I am no helmsman. Oh, God Emperor preserve me, Navigator. However, I have spent my entire life aboard void ships equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Geller field has faltered. Perhaps the Navigator was struck down by warp corruption and is fighting for the last shreds of his humanity as we speak. If we get thrown off course, we will be forever lost in the war. Naturally, we would likely not have long to live in that scenario. But I will not resign myself to such an outcome just yet.
Okay. How'd you find me?
You sent me a Vox message. Specifically, a Vox cast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. You mean to say you did no such thing?
No, yeah, that might have been the Warrant Sentinel. Might have sent you a message when I opened the chamber.
Warrant Sentinel? The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort. The Warrant Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the Sentinel to awaken. But then, why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same?
I mean, she wasn't under distress. More than likely, she got control of the Sentinel in a pretty normal process. Or something. What can we expect to find in the Navigator's sanctum?
During warp transit, the sanctum is closed to all who are not involved in traversing the Imperium. And for good reason. For the Navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the sanctum must be bathed in the energies of the Immaterium. Only a Navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with the warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death.
Yeah, that does sound pretty awesome. Well, look, I heard one of Theodora's Voxcasts.
Lady Theodora's. Which one? The last one I received was about the Navigator's sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well, and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course.
Okay, well, I guess I can't. I don't actually remember which one, what she said in her message. Look, lead the way.
Absolutely. Let us proceed.
A wave of static suddenly erupts from the server skull, and you can make out Theodora's words through the noise. Why does Theodora not have a voice? It's so weird. Like, why do they sometimes have voices, but sometimes not? And why is it like that always will bother me. That always, she seems like a pretty fucking important character, unless she dies in the next, like, hour or so, in which case, then I get it. Alright, to arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor. Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might destroy those who have dared.
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle. Which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. On!
Yeah, onward, get on out of here. Oh shit.
Challenges make the spoils that much sweeter.
Crush them!
Tactical phase. Combat begins with a tactical phase, during which characters cannot attack or take other actions, but may try to take up advantageous positions. Select a character by clicking on their portrait at the top of the screen, then click on the cell you want the character to move to. Red cells are areas inaccessible to their character. During the tactical phase, each character in the party may move up to their maximum movement points, but cannot position themselves adjacent to an enemy. I see. Okay, so I can maneuver ourselves around and then start the battle. So Abelard has melee stuff, so I'm gonna go ahead and get him over there. As for my character, there's not really any cover. But I'll maneuver over here for now.
I've suffered worse. Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Combat abilities of characters differ depending on their archetype. Available abilities are located at the bottom right of the screen on the abilities panel. To read the full description of the ability, hover over it and right-click on it. Left-click on the icon to use the ability. Before the ability is used, you'll get to review its estimated outcome while hovering your cursor over a character or an area of your choosing. You'll also see the ability's area of effect. And each character in this area will have a number displayed over them denoting the probability of being successfully affected. If the ability's effect is guaranteed to work, the ability's icon is displayed instead of a number. When you are ready to use the ability, left-click again to confirm your choice. During your adventure, you'll get more abilities and talents. Gotcha. Press C to look at them. So, currently, I just have my normal abilities here. Precisely aimed shot with a 50% chance to the effective range of a weapon and a 10% hit chance. That's nice. Can I only use this once or something? Damn, a lot of these guys have low health. Okay, what about this? So, is there just not a difference between these two? I guess because the room is so small, it doesn't really matter. Because that's a 95% chance to hit, and that's a 95% chance to hit. Okay. Here's what I can do. I'm gonna use...
I'll make it happen.
Analyze enemy. And that lets me do a little bit more damage to him.
I'll see to it personally. Another enemy down.
Holy fuck shit. Okay, I just wanted to do enough health to kill him, not... I didn't mean to fucking kill him for over twice the amount of health he had. Holy shit. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and use this ability and then move. Ooh, wait. Okay, never mind. I don't think I can move. Oh my god. Alright, Abellard's abilities. Your new companion is a warrior. Abelard specializes in melee combat and drawing the enemy's attacks. Charge is a unique warrior ability that works only when they are using a melee weapon and is not considered an attack action. Use charge to close the distance between you and the enemy and deal damage. Click on the ability's icon and choose the direction to charge in. If an enemy is in the direct path of charge, Abelard will attack them and will still be able to use an attack option afterwards if he has not used one this turn. Note that charge can only be used if the character is 2 or more cells away from the target. As character is using a melee weapon, melee attacks require the character to be adjacent to the enemy. To make a melee attack, click on the strike ability, then on the enemy you wish to attack. Unlike single shots, melee attacks automatically hit automatically with no need for a roll. The enemy will try to dodge and parry the attack if they are using a melee weapon of their own. Melee weapons can be used to make area attacks. All creatures in the area will suffer damage unless they succeed a dodge test, or a parry test if they are armed with a melee weapon. Damage dealt by melee weapons depends on the weapon's parameters and the attacker's strength. So... Cleave. All creatures within this area of effect within a 1 cell radius. Alright, yep, it's cleave time.
I will do my duty.
And I guess that's good enough. Your character just missed. To increase the hit chance, equip your character with a decent weapon and place them on a vantage point. For improved marksmanship, learn talents that increase the perception and ballistic skill characteristic. Yeah, that's not what I needed, but sure. All right.
I'll make it happen.
I'll just shoot the one that's furthest away.
Not me.
Damn, that's really unlucky. 0 hits, huh? Attacks of opportunity. Characters with melee weapons can make an attack of opportunity if an opponent in an adjacent cell initiates movement. It can also be triggered by some abilities. All characters with melee weapons, including members of your party, can make an attack of opportunity. The chance to hit and deal damage are calculated just like a normal attack. Well, none of them are trying to move, so that's whatever. But thank you for the warning. That means I shouldn't try and move away. The order in which actions are taken in combat matters. Your character can only move around the battlefield before they take an attack action. Once a character attacks, they lose their remaining movement points, unable to move until the start of their next turn. There is a way around this, however, if, for example, the character has some way of gaining movement points after attacking. Yeah. I noticed the whole, like, not being able to move after firing thing.
On it.
Fire!
Your end was inevitable.
Oh. I need to be careful. I forgot. I can, in fact, accidentally hit my own teammates if they're right next to an enemy. Let's see. You can advance the level of your character and companions. Prevailing in battles, exploring the Koronus Expanse, and completing quests earns you experience points. Once you've accumulated enough experience, your character gains a new level. Click on the arrow symbols on the character's portrait to open the new level up screen. Each level gained offers your characters new progression options, which include new abilities, talent, skill improvements, and other enhancements. Your companions gain new levels at the same time as your character. Even if they are not included in the active party during your journeys, you can always increase their level later. I appreciate that. All right, let's see what I can grab here, I guess. I guess right now all I have is this. Oh, I can level up a particular skill shit. Fuck. I might just do awareness, I guess. Level up awareness. Woo! Okay, at least I guess leveling up is a lot less intimidating than I thought it was going to be. When I saw some of the screens earlier, it was scary. But in reality, it's just a wheel, right? Like, it's just gonna be, I level up one thing at a time. Sometimes I can choose between 2 at a time. Whoa. And then later on, who knows? Maybe I'll be able to respec and, like, shuffle things around. But at the moment, we just do this. Athletics. Coercion, demolition, Medicaid. I'm assuming this just means they're recommended, that little thumbs up. I didn't notice that with Jade. All right, we're just gonna do Koronus because that's like a toughness bonus. Complete. And that also means I kind of fucked up in terms of their recommendation was tech use or logic. Oops. Oh well.
Let us not dawdle. I have a nose for profit and a taste for adventure.
Zone map. Here is a map of your void ship. It consists of several parts, between which you can travel. Some parts are not yet available, but over time your character will be able to access them. Okay. That's a little worrisome, but alright, we're going to the Navigator's Sanctum. Just how much are we going to be doing on this fucking ship?
Keep your wits about you.
The Navigator's Sanctum is directly along the passageway. I pray to the God Emperor that we are not too late.
Lead us to fortune.
Who's this? Damn.
And so she will enter the halls of the blinded guide and witness the radiance of the final dawn through the cracks and fall victim to a whim of fate.
All right.
Mistress, watch your head. Idira!
Damn.
Would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
Sorry, old man. The voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abelard, how they sing!
Oh, it's Abelard, not Abelard or Abelard.
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valancius. Idira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate. To die in the waves of the Immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn. And in the roaring blaze, I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer.
Hey, maybe it may be. Maybe I'm the only survivor of the ship. The entity in your consciousness shrinks and crawls in deeper, its claws scraping against the walls of your mind, as if the presence is trying to hide from the seer standing before you. Well, what are you doing here?
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the Navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the Engineerium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
What? You don't mean the Engine Seer Prime is...
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the Navigator's Sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
I guess, but it's still a shame that anyone has to die in this mutiny. You hear a few clicks from the relays on the servo skull, which has followed you all the way here, and Theodora's scrambled words give way to a voice vaguely familiar to you. Officer's frequency, to all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
That's Edelthrad. Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelthrad's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
All right, let's head in. Oh, wait, shit. Ah!
The voice. And you. You are von Valancius, one of Lady Theodora's heirs. Well then, we finally meet.
How do you know who I am?
You think Lady Theodora didn't ask me to peek into the darkness behind the backs of those she sees as her prospective heirs? I have seen you. I have seen the footsteps of your past and the wounds of your heart.
What all do you know about my past? You flinch at the seer's words. No doubt she's referring to the nightmares of the torturers inflicted upon your body and mind. Your muscles contract involuntarily, as if steeling themselves once more for the inevitable pain. Huh? My tortured past. And torture. We must see if the navigator is well.
Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity.
Oh, that's not good, but maybe we can snap him out of it.
But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
I agree. Party controls. Adira has joined your party, which now consists of several characters. To select one character, click on their portrait. To select multiple characters, click and drag a box around them. Oh shit. To select the entire party and issue commands to all your characters at once, press backspace. Okay, well, I guess I can do that. Backspace.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
So are we going into this door? Hurry, destroy this field! Don't keep our master waiting!
I'll level you!
Let's see what we got here. Heretic Psyker with 22 health. And Indira gets to go first. Okay, so Indira, I don't know how Indira functions at all. I'm gonna take full cover here with Jade. Indira can take the half cover, and Abelard can run up and distract people over here. Indira's abilities. Indira is a psyker and an operative. As an operative, she can study opponents and identify their weaknesses, and her psyker abilities allow her to deal damage to them. Wait, but I'm like an operative, but not a psyker. Wow. Analyze enemies is an operative ability which applies the exploit effect to all enemies within the operative's line of sight at the start of each of the operative's turns. Oh. That doesn't sound right, but okay. This one, the way they word it there is like, oh, like all enemies that they can see, but it's actually just one that they can see at a time. The operative can use this ability against a specific enemy to inflict several stacks of this effect. Okay, gotcha. So, we apply a stack just in general, maybe, and then we can like focus a stack on one target. The higher the operative's intelligence bonus is, the more exploit stacks will be inflicted. Whenever the operative hits a target with an exploit applied to them, the attack deals additional damage. The amount of extra damage depends on the target's number of exploit stacks and the operative's perception. Expose weaknesses is an operative ability which they can use against a single enemy who is under the exploit effect. This ability reduces the enemy's dodge, parry, and armor. The amount of reduction depends on the number of active exploits on the enemy and the operative's perception. Oh, there's so much to this. Adira is armed with a special staff that allows a psyker to unleash psychic powers against enemies. In the future, you will encounter staves that only a psyker versed in certain discipline can use. For example, you might find a staff that lets a psyker use Inferno, but to do so, they must first have the Pyromancy psychic discipline learned. Okay. So I can do a lightning strike on a target. I can also do this. Boom! Exploit. And now I can do a guaranteed 20 damage. Blam!
Will do.
And then with my last action point, I'll increase the dodge chance for Abelard. A shame that this heretic psyker is gonna get a turn before me. I was hoping to one-shot him. Ow. Hologram. You can use the hologram to gauge the effectiveness of your intended actions in combat before taking them. Click on any accessible cell on the battlefield to place the character's hologram there. Select an ability or a single-shot attack to see the expected outcome. Huh. The action will be displayed as if used from the hologram's location to let you assess whether you have picked an effective position for the action you're planning to take. The hologram also lets you see if the enemy will be within your line of sight after you move to the selected cell. That does sound nice. Okay. Well, I don't need to worry about, like, maneuvering myself, although... Can I even hit this guy right now? Nope. Shit, okay, I do have to worry about it, I guess. I'd like to kill the Psyker. Don't think it's a good idea to leave him up, but I probably should fight some other enemies first. And then just kill the Psyker with Adira later.
I'll make it happen.
We're gonna shoot the brawler that's closest to us. Then I'm gonna... call an exploit on... I don't know, this guy. Abelard! Alright. If I move here and then cleave... I can't hit both of them. Fuck. Okay. I'm gonna just beat up the brawler. Can I do like this? And then like this? I don't fully understand, like, charge just yet. I'm trying to get the idea. Because if I could use it to take out multiple targets at once, that would be fucking cool. But that might not be what I'm supposed to do. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move to this position. Actually, I'm gonna move... Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm gonna move here and melee this guy.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
From one trailer I have seen... Oh, I could... Ah, shit. If I had done the things... Fuck. Okay. I know better now. Oh, he tried to move, so movement opportunity got him. Nice. Ow, ow, fuck. I was in full cover. Damn. That's a shame. Characters with melee weapons block adjacent enemies' ability to perform attacks with ranged weapons. Yeah, that's what I was just about to talk about. Pistols and shotguns are an exception to this rule. Those can be fired at point-blank range. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and just hit him with a psychic blast. Oh, it chained! Nice! I didn't even know that was gonna be a thing! Vespidius, the creature in the chair, appears as if it has become one with its throne. You see pink parchment-like skin stretched between the seat and the limbs that have too many joints for a normal human being. The navigator is breathing heavily, the air whistling as it exits through the two dark gill-like slits on its cheeks. The creature's eyes are shut, the two ordinary eyes as well as the third one that sits in the center of its forehead. So it's a literal third eye? Yeesh. I believe Master Vespidius still lives. Abelard flinches at the sight of the stretched skin and the dark marks on the face of the creature. The servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive. Address Adira. What's wrong with him? Wounded, exhausted, fighting back the endless horrors of the warp that are forcing their way into his head. Pick one. The navigator stirs, barely able to lift his head and half open his normal eyes. A dark drop rolls from under the closed lid of the third eye and down his face, leaving behind a black trail. Your time is short. The voice is coming from the Vox grill at the base of the bizarre chair. It is unclear how the navigator is able to produce human speech. Our time is short to do what? Suddenly the navigator's body starts thrashing in place. It lurches forward, then falls back onto the seat, then thrusts forward again as its bones crack and its skin tears open. However, the fusion between the body and the chair appears to be stronger than these wild impetuses. The mutant remains seated, but leans as far forward as he can, his layered raiment slowly turning crimson. The gill slits burst open, forming two hideous, screaming, mouth-like pits. Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn! Ah! Adira shrieks in terror. It came from beyond! His body is not his! Adira's scream is echoed by the silent cries in your head. The unseen creature triumphs at the sight of the navigator succumbing to the paroxysms of corruption. Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me. The navigator continues to convulse violently in his seat, shrieking and cackling. But then his fit stops abruptly. His face is drenched in black and crimson. The dark ooze from under his third eyelid has turned from a trickle into a stream mixed with the blood coming out of his nose. There is purplish swelling around the eye. Run. Flee from this place while I still have the strength. The words come out of the Vox as a labored rattle. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the warp. But it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help. Address Abelard. The navigator's still alive, but barely so. What do we do now? The Seneschal gazes at the figure in the chair. The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Edelthrad and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms that the server skull relayed to us earlier. Adira reaches her hand out toward the navigator but pulls it back at the last moment. Vespidius, good luck, and thank you. The navigator does not give her a response. Black tears mixed with blood are streaming from under the closed eyelids, and the Vox at the base of the chair is bellowing out static interspersed with distant echoes of otherworldly laughter. That's fucking horrifying. The navigator appears dead. Only the slight movement of his chest and the twitching of his eyelids let you know that he is still clinging to life. Yeah, we need to get the hell out of here. Can I loot these guys? Oh, shit! Collecting loot. Defeated enemies have no further need for their former belongings, but you can discover valuable trophies among them. Click on a defeated enemy to inspect what is left of them. Items on the right side of the trophy collection window go to your inventory, such items can be used or equipped by your characters. Items on the left are picked up as cargo and sent to your ship, which can be later used to trade with various factions. Gotcha. You can move trophies from one side of the window to the other by double-clicking on them or dragging them over using left mouse button. Alternatively, you can use the buttons at the bottom to mass transfer all items from the cargo to your inventory and vice versa. Sweet. Well, collect everything, I guess.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Alternative weapons. In combat, a character may need to use different kinds of weapons, which can be prepared in advance. Open your inventory and prepare different weapon sets. To switch to a different weapon set in combat, press X. Swapping weapon sets in combat does not cost action points. Oh, that's nice. You know, in case there are situations where the present gear is just not good for the situation.
Is there money to be made?
I'll slap on a melee weapon just in case. We've got a staff here, but it is the exact same one that Adira has already, so not useful. And her second weapon is this laser pistol. Laser weapons are effective against targets in cover and targets with high dodge. Intriguing. Okay, we're gonna have to be concerned about that, I guess. He's got a chainsaw sword. We've also got this axe that is just okay, but it also does have sweep, so that might be something useful. Info, sweep. Damn, okay. It doesn't let me know. Alright. There.
Fate and fortune favor the bold.
You still have an old injury.
I always keep my options open.
That's lame. Everybody, come on. Oh.
I always have a backup plan.
I guess I can't go that way.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
I'm not sure where I'm going. The Navigator's Sanctum is the private haven of the ship's guide through the warp, and a death trap for anyone left inside after translation to the Imperium. Yeah.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Thankfully, we didn't get all torn apart, I guess. Maybe we leave over here? Ah. Now I can head to the officer's deck.